Greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown. I want you to go to lesbrownpowertour.com. On October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend, we will be at the Airport Marriott, teaching people the techniques and strategies on how you can begin to live your dream right now. Many people have the ability to do more, but unfortunately, they're trying to open new doors with old keys. We're going to teach you how to monetize your brilliance with one of the speakers. We have a lady who was once a gas station cashier, and she's now a billionaire, and she's going to share her knowledge. I'm going to share with you how to tell your story, how to present yourself, and how you can earn millions of dollars with your wisdom and your experiences. October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com. It's going to change your life. Spread the word. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com this weekend in LA at the Marriott at the airport. This is your moment. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Have you ever felt trapped by your own suffering, as though each personal challenge only deepens your despair? You're not alone. At the core of the wounded healer archetype lies a profoundly liberating truth. Our deepest wounds, those that seem insurmountable, can become our greatest sources of strength and wisdom. The wounded healer represents more than resilience. It embodies the promise that the pain you endure today can transform your life and the lives of others. Learn how your most significant struggles can unlock an unexpected well of compassion and healing ability. In Greek mythology, we encounter Chiron, a centaur set apart from his peers by his exceptional wisdom and medical prowess. This half-human, half-horse figure was more than a myth. He was a revered teacher, educator, and healer whose impact extends beyond legend to embody the essence of true healing. Unlike other centaurs known for their wild and unruly nature, Chiron immersed himself in the depths of knowledge, medicine, music, and the arts of hunting and warfare. His mastery in these fields earned him great respect from gods and mortals alike, but it also led him to a path marked by profound personal suffering. The irony of his existence is fully realized when he was accidentally wounded by a poisoned arrow shot by Hercules, his own pupil and friend. This was no ordinary setback. The arrow, soaked in the lethal blood of the Linnaean Hydra, inflicted a wound that was more than physical. It was a wound of the soul, incurable and eternal. Despite his vast knowledge of healing, Chiron could not heal himself. This incessant pain, however, did not lead him to despair or resentment. Instead, it deepened his understanding of human suffering, making him a more empathetic and effective healer for others. It is here that Chiron embodies the archetype of the wounded healer. His wound was not an obstacle to his work. Paradoxically, it was the source of his great healing power. In his suffering, he found a universal resonance, an unbreakable connection with the human experience of pain. Every individual he healed.
See, let me come in here and clean some things. Yeah, it's cleaning time. It's time for me to come in here and clean it up. Did you know that the most successful form of science currently is quantum mechanics? But in 1958, when Albert Einstein passed away, he had spent the last 20-some-odd years of his life toiling to try to prove it wrong. He believed at that time that it was incomplete. And that is because of the measurement problem, what is called the measurement problem, or the double slit experiment. Einstein and now many other theoretical physicists do in fact believe that physics, the most successful form of science we have to date, is incomplete. I'm using that as an example to correlate. The same is true of psychology. Many psychologists are going back, looking at the old concepts, just like this one that Carl Jung presented, Chiron, right? The wounded healer, right? Shot or with an arrow by Hercules with the blood of some mythological creature that poisoned him. He could never heal his wound. His wound was a spiritual, psychological, or, internal wound, not a physical wound that could not be healed. But he used his suffering and his pain to be a healer of others. Many ideas that were created in or during times of race inequality, during times of socioeconomic inequality, many psychological theories and concepts from way back when some white man, no disrespect, said, I'm the father of this, and I'm the father of that, and I'm the father of this, and I'm the father of that. A lot of that stuff is now being called into question.
Travis Smiley's new...
Right? A lot of it is being called into question. And tonight, I'm going to call in the wounded healer paradox. And why am I calling this into question? I think it's very important that I call it into question. First and foremost, listen to what I'm about to say. The wounded healer is often seen as an empath. But I'm going to tell you right now, just because I'm empathetic towards you and I want to help you, when we're dealing with wounds, only you can heal those wounds. So we have to reframe or rephrase, right, our definition of the wounded healer, because you have people looking for an empath to come in their life and help shoulder their unhealed wounds. Repeat after me. The empath cannot walk the path for you. The empath cannot walk the path for you. They can try to comfort you as you walk your path. They can try to make your walk a little easier, but they cannot walk your purpose, your journey, or your path for you. They can empathize with the walk you have to take or the path you're on, but they can't walk it for you. And this is why I'm saying people try to pick and choose which parts of this psychological, psycho-spiritual jargon they want to use. You can't say in one breath relationship is a mirror, then in another breath say, oh, this terrible person came to me, and I'm not a terrible person. They just came to me by happenstance. I got a cheater and a liar and an abuser. But if I peel the layers back and I see how you cheat, lie, and abuse yourself, the relationship with yourself is the most important relationship to have. And if you've mistreated that relationship, your relationship with yourself becomes a beacon, a mirror that is looking for its own reflection. Let me say it another way. Any part of you that is not healed is looking for itself in another. Now, conversely, any part of you that is healed is looking for that piece in another, or will recognize that piece in another. So if you've overcome some internal battles, some internal strife, some struggles, you've stopped negative talking, negative self-talk within yourself. You stop blaming yourself. You stop beating up on your inner child. You stop blaming your parents. You stop doing all this mess, right? That's going to create a vibration and a frequency and a magnetic pull that's going to be able to call in people that are like you to reflect what you are back to you. Now, trust me, science, right? Science, let me just tell you, science, the most advanced form of science we have is thought to be incomplete. Quantum mechanics. We can't have a cell phone, an iPhone, a Galaxy, or whatever. We can't have any technology that we experience today without quantum mechanics. But many theoretical physicists believe it to be incomplete. Math is the most complete language we have on the planet Earth, but many of us aren't fluent in it. English language is another language, of course, right? The multiple languages on the planet, right? But they can't bring into the full meaning of what needs to be understood. So we're here on the Voice of Reason to try to explain to you. An empath cannot walk your path. So an empath, like Chiron, spoken of in the first clip, was flawed. We have to understand that. The empath is as flawed as the narcissist that is attracted to it. When we say relationship is a mirror, we start to see when you're doing the work, when you're reading and studying all of the greats, the people that are out there talking about, you're starting to see, wow, why do narcissists go after empaths? Because they have similar wounds. We just told you that the birth of the empath through Carl Jung, through the mythology of Chiron, right? Again, was wounded psychologically, spiritually. And because he couldn't heal himself, what did he do? He went out to try to heal others. Does that sound like your everyday psychologist? It absolutely does. If you sit down and you talk to people who became psychologists or psychiatrists or therapists, many of them will tell you they got into the field to heal a wound that happened in their childhood. And they are inspired to heal Chiron all over again. Do you understand? I know you don't want to hear it this way, but that's how we're going to do it. Now, can you attract something you're not? That's the question. Can you be this wonderful, loving, nurturing, empathetic, whole, balanced, beautiful, caring, all of it? Can you be all of that and attract the devil? And if you can attract the devil, just listen. Would he have any power over you? Last I heard, if we want to use old texts, we go back to the Dharmapada of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. We go back to the Buddha, and the Buddha in his text had to face his demons. He had to face the demon of Maya. He had to face the demon of excessive wealth. He had to face the demon of ego. He had to face some demons. And when he faced the demons and defeated the demons, they left him alone. They could no longer touch him. So show me the person. Huh? Show me the person that has conquered themselves. I'm telling you right now, everybody you meet is broken to some degree, and brokenness is on a spectrum. You got some people that are less broken than others, and their relationships seem to go a little smoother. You got some people in the middle where they got a little bit more problem. Then you got some people on the far end that are tragically broken. And I'm gonna tell you, you tend to see people attracting what they are. Nobody wants to accept that. I done gave you the example of the fine-tuned universe that you live in. How are you in a finely, divinely tuned universe and somehow your relationships are not? The micro reflects the macro. Oh, or I could say it another way. As above, so below, as above. So if we are in fact living in a divinely fine-tuned universe, how did you just attract a demon and you a really nice person? Are you nice to yourself? Are you psychologically abusive to yourself? Are you an internal liar? Do you know your attachment style? Do you know the communication style that you were raised in, that you modeled? Have you been to therapy? Are you accountable for the mistakes you make? What kind of youngin' mask are you wearing? Huh? Oh, I'm not getting what I am. I deserve better. When we come forward, I'm going to keep tearing this thing down. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tara Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Pretty brown eyes, you know I see him. It's a disguise, the way you treat me. Keep holding on to your thoughts of rejection. If you're with me, you're secure. You keep telling me that your time is always taken. I keep seeing you out alone. Listen to love, the heart is pounding with desire, waiting to be unleashed. Quit breaking my heart, breaking my heart, yeah, breaking my heart, yeah, breaking my heart,
Gaze up at the night sky, and if you know where to look, you'll see the Centaurus constellation. 5 light years away is a reminder of a myth from closer to home, the constellation named after Chiron, king of the centaurs. The half-man, half-horse became a wise mentor to many Greek heroes, including Hercules and Achilles. Chiron suffered the cruel fate of being abandoned at birth. Eventually, he was adopted by Apollo, who taught Chiron many skills, including medicine, music, prophecy, poetry, and law. Chiron distinguished himself from other centaurs who were violent and impulsive by harmonizing primal instincts with reason and logic. Later in life, Chiron was accidentally struck by a poisoned arrow. While living in unbearable pain, Chiron's mastery of the healing arts was driven by a search for a cure for himself. While he never succeeded in healing himself, he brought comfort and healing to many others. And so the myth of the wounded healer was born, which later inspired Carl Jung's description of healing professionals whose wounds motivate them to serve others. The poet Rumi also spoke to the power of the wounded healer as a path to transformation when he said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Only by examining our own wounds can we truly discover wholeness, the unique expression of this life, and what we are called to bring forth into the world to help others. However, befitting Greek mythology, that is a Herculean task. Like all archetypes, the wounded healer has its shadow polarities constellated within our inner universe, which can dim the light within the wound. This installment of
I'm here to push back. Maybe the wounded healer is selfish. If I can heal you, I can't heal myself. But if I can help you heal, I get some kind of payoff. Isn't that Dr. Phil's favorite line? What's your payoff? That's a type of supply. If you notice, there are no the empath is not in any psychological research. It's not like a psychological term, although a lot of psychologists will use empath and all of that stuff. right? But it's not in the writings. It's not in the data, right? But the reality of it is, maybe we mistranslated through Carl Jung, Chiron, the wounded healer. They're not healing. Chiron is in communion. What's broken you, or what's broken me, right, is attracted to what's broken you. And if I can help you get over your brokenness, because is that not codependence? And are narcissists attracted to those who are codependent? The codependent says, let me perform for you to show you that I'm worthy. And maybe if I can help you, if I can provide for you, if I can please you, if I can people please you, if I can uplift you, if I can put you on a pedestal, if I can, maybe one day you'll breadcrumb me off a little acknowledgement. Right? Maybe Carl Jung translated it wrong. Do you understand? But this is another example of the great Krishnamurti when he spoke of what? Right? The mirror of relationship. The wounds in you are dating. I want y'all to understand that. What's unhealed in you is looking for a partner. It wants a relationship too. And listen, remember, healing is on a spectrum. Do you understand? It's me. It's on a spectrum. If you're not really healed, the wound is saying, I need a man. I need a woman. I need something to come in here and settle me down a bit. This is what's happening to most of us. And yet we refuse to acknowledge the relationship as a mirror. That's because 99% of everybody who's parroting that thought don't understand what it really means. When we come forward, I'm going to keep tearing your face off on a Monday night.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. is endorsing Republican Bob Fioretti in the Cook County, Illinois state's attorney race. Jackson said Fioretti has championed the African-American community for many years as an advocate, a civil rights lawyer, an alderman, and a friend. The former Chicago alderman is set to face Democratic nominee Eileen O'Neill Burke in the November election. Even as New York City Mayor Eric Adams sees his support eroding among everyday New Yorkers, U.S. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says the mayor should not resign despite his recent indictment on federal corruption charges. He says Adams, who is black, is entitled to the presumption of innocence and a trial by jury. But at the same time, Jeffries, who is also black, says Adams needs to articulate a, quote, path forward to ensure that the city is continuing to function and run in a manner that meets the needs of everyday New Yorkers, end quote. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Tavis Smiley on receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joseph R. Biden Jr. for a lifelong commitment to using his media and philanthropic platforms to help build a stronger nation. A host of Tavis's family, friends, colleagues, and luminaries, including LA Mayor Karen Bass, joined in the celebration. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to thank the following partners for their support: the Weingart Foundation, Avitor's Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You can you can even just... With impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy Silverado, the first ever Silverado EV, Colorado and Tahoe have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together let's drive. 0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'd like to welcome you
to this short series on working on your cores, to help you heal from narcissistic abuse. This is a 5-part series addressing core work, I guess, that you could do, because by understanding these core issues, you will be in a better place to cope with and heal from narcissistic abuse. I'll be taking on 5 core issues to address. We'll be talking about core wounds, core values, core beliefs, core fears, and core hopes. So let's talk about the most difficult of the cores, shall we?
Before Dr. Romani even gets started, how many of y'all, start the video from the top, how many of you guys are doing what she's outlining? Let me do an investigation of my core fears, my core beliefs, my core wounds. How many of you have a core journal that deals with the core of you? Right? Maybe we'll name the journal Me Core. How many of you have a Me Core journal? Huh? So here's the problem though. With so few people doing the work, yet still expecting a complete partner. First off, your idea of complete is incomplete. It's not even an idea. What it actually is an ideal. You want an ideal person without doing the work. The Me Core journal will help you outline everything that there is to know about you. So many people go into relationship self-blind, self-unaware. They know something's wrong, but they don't know where it began. They don't know how it started. They don't know when the seed was put in the ground and when it started to germinate and how it started to branch off into other areas of their thought process and how it took over certain areas of their thought process and started making decisions in their intimate relationship. Most people don't know. Do you see? Self-unaware. So what is relationship really a vehicle for? Which is a spiritual vehicle. It is the vehicle for self-awareness. So anything that's hidden below the ego, somewhere in the id and the superego, will be uncovered in the mirror of relationships. This is why we're saying you get who you are. I know I'm yelling because it's redundant to me today. You refuse to accept the truth. Your partner is your mirror. And whatever is goofy about your spirit, it correlates with the goofiness in theirs. Whatever's toxic in your spirit correlates with the toxicity of theirs. Whatever unhealed work you got to do in your spirit is in relationship with the unhealed work they haven't done. Do you understand? Let her finish.
I'd like to welcome you to this short series on working on your cores, to help you heal from narcissistic abuse. This is a 5-part series addressing core work, I guess, that you could do, because by understanding these core issues, you will be in a better place to cope with and heal from narcissistic abuse. I'll be taking on 5 core issues to address. We'll be talking about core wounds, core values, core beliefs, core fears, and core hopes.
Pause. Core hopes, core expectations. We like to start at core hopes. I hope I get everything I want. I hope I find Mr. or Mrs. Right. Right? That's the part we like to start at. The core wounds and all that other stuff, no, that's for the birds. Let her finish.
So let's talk about the most difficult of the cores, shall we? I think we'll start with the hardest place of all and go from there. I think the most difficult one of all is core wounds. Core wounds are primal. They are the psychological injuries we incurred early in our lives. You can sort of think of them as broken bones that never healed right. And when pressure is put on them, they hurt. They don't work as well as we'd like them to. Core wounds can be a byproduct of early trauma, abandonment, bullying, neglect, inconsistency, invalidation, gaslighting, or abuse. They are the places in our psyche that still hurt, and that may always hurt. Core wounds can be a whole host of things like feeling not good enough, feeling not ever chosen, feeling helplessness secondary to abuse and trauma, and feeling unsafe in the world. Then there are core wounds secondary to discrimination, or not being seen or heard, or abandonment and rejection-oriented wounds, or not being noticed, or the pain of your scapegoatedness, wounds around being blamed for things that other people did. These core wounds are deep, and they get triggered by experiences in our adult lives. It can be difficult to discern core wounds from core fears, and they do often overlap, and you'll see that when you listen to the core fears video. For example, you may be interviewing for competitive jobs and not having much luck because they're competitive, and you keep getting rejection letters. Now, obviously that doesn't feel good, but you're sliding into something in this process that looks almost and feels more like depression. All these core wounds are getting activated around not being good enough. The chronic rejection can turn a difficult experience, getting this competitive job, into a full-blown psychological crisis. Even you would be surprised at your own disproportionate nature of your own response. You knew intellectually it was going to be difficult to get a job in this way, but the rejections literally feel like the air being sucked out of your lungs, and you're kind of mad at yourself, like, why am I feeling like this? And that is the lesson to remember about the core wounds. They defy intellect. Our thinking brains may recognize our distortion and our strong reactions, but core wound activation is something we feel physically. I have had people talk about how they feel when their core wounds are hit, and they describe all kinds of reactions, including drowning, panic, air being pulled out of their lungs, their throat constricting, a sense of dizziness. Your body holds those core wounds, and so when they are activated, even though you can talk your way through, you can say things to yourself like, oh, come on, less than 2% of applicants are getting hired. Your body still feels awful, and because your body feels awful, your mind can easily follow.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. SMP volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an SMP open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure. Yeah.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Disenchanted, 'cause lately it takes you for granted. Still faithful and true, you've remained, and to her so have I. You pour out your heart and I listen, and we get your vibe reminiscing. Temptation so strong, not to mention the yearning inside. But what kind of man would I be if I lived unfaithfully? And what kind of girl would you be if you did the same?
There's no reason. And this is why most of us have problems in relationships, because we find reasons to loving people, including our spouse. You know, the Bible never ever told us from Genesis to Revelation why God loves us. It doesn't exist in the Bible. Because if he ever gave us a reason for loving us, it's no longer love. It's a condition. True love has no reason. Say it. That means if anyone can tell you why they love you, you are in trouble. Immediately, instantly. Here's why. Because when you have a reason, you have a condition. When you have a condition, you have an expectation. An expectation will produce disappointments all the time. Disappointments produce division. And division will always produce that crazy word we hate, divorce. And divorce also produces a death of relationship, which also produces dysfunctional families. And that produces social decay in society, which also produces community destruction, which also produces a national loss. In other words, your private decision becomes a national problem.
So everybody want to be in love with Miles Monroe, but you don't want to embody what he said. Everybody want to say, well, who is Zoe to say it? But then when you hear Miles Monroe say it, you go, oh, yes, I believe the pastor. But if you believe the pastor, how come you don't embody his words? You'll ignore Zoe saying it and say, oh, no, that ain't true. But then when you hear Pastor Monroe say it, you go, oh, he was legendary. Yes, I went to all of his seminars, but you don't embody his words. Love is not conditional. Do you know what makes the conditions for your relationships? Two things: a toxic society and an unhealed heart. Love don't need expectations or conditions or parameters. Love, real love, doesn't need it. Doesn't need it at all. Only that which is broken needs a condition. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's what it is. When you got hurt, that's what hardened your heart and closed your ears. And you say, you know what, I'm going to go for mine now. I'm tired of being taken advantage of. I'm going to go get mine. Yeah. Let's see how that works out. We got callers on the line. Let me get my brother in here. It's very important. One of my favorite callers every time. Brother Reggie, Austin, Texas in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, it's tough because I have a friend I went to high school with who posted a video saying that she was just tired of all of this, tired of love, tired of the dating and the whole foolishness that surrounds it. And she sounded really defeated. And I'm thinking that it isn't because she doesn't want to do the work, it's because she doesn't know what work to do. And I can't make her do the work. You see what I'm saying? All I can do is help her with the path and be there to encourage. And just listening to tonight made me understand something that I really didn't want to understand, that our exhaustion doesn't absolve us from the lessons that we must learn.
And don't you know I've been telling you that for the past few calls?
It's real.
Because I see it in your spirit, brother, and I love you. You know I love you, brother. And every time you call in, you give me a little pushback in that area, and I'm saying he ain't got it yet. He got it, but he don't want to get it. Okay, he gonna push back, because he's one of the most intelligent callers we have, but he don't like it. He gonna push back again today, and today's the day where you like, nah, I can't push back no more, because that's what it is. Go ahead, brother. Please keep telling.
I mean, you being tired doesn't make the truth any less than the truth, and I mean that's just what it is. It doesn't absolve you from the love that you have to be, and that's on your plate, and you can't like ignore it, and you can't even fake yourself into believing that it is what it isn't. It just is what it is, and that's liberating in a whole lot of aspects.
And I've been pushing this for a long time. I've been pushing. Man, you don't understand how you've inspired me, because you got it. You've had it. Now you've accepted it, is what I'm really trying to say. You've accepted it. Yeah. And it's not that I'm looking for you to agree. I'm looking for you to see what I'm saying. And now you see it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there are times when you have to give the message or the medicine with a spoonful of sugar, and there are other times when you just got to get the medicine how it is. And this is one of them times, and that's what it is, man.
Man, brother, man, you already know, man.
Indeed.
I so appreciate you, man, and I appreciate the fellowship, my brother. Man, guess what you just did?
I brought Austin in the building.
Now, wait, don't leave. If I come to Texas, are you going to be there?
Absolutely. Wherever you are in the state, I'm there.
Come on, man. Let's get this Texas run going. I'll come down to Texas and set it on fire. Let's go.
Bet. All right, then.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
Love you too, bro.
Love you, bro. In the Quran, Allah's holy Quran, it says, Allahu as-Samad, Alhamdulillahi. Allah is free of need, or Allah is needless, the praiseworthy. Allah is free of need, or Allah is needless. Allahu as-Samad. Right? Allah is needless. Allah is needless. It also says Allahu Ahad. Allah is one. Allah is needless and Allah is one. That lines up with consciousness. Cutting edge theoretical physicists say conscious is one stream, one fundamental reality that all realities spring forth from, right? When they discovered string theory and all these other theories to try to make sense of things, one source of reality. Allah is needless, right? Allahu as-Samad, Samada, needless. The praiseworthy, Alhamdulillahi, right? Right? The praiseworthy. A Christian can agree with that. A Jew can agree with that, right? It is our culture, it is our background, it is our belief systems that keep us separated, our conceptual thinking. And guess what? That even works on a psychological level. My wound has a language of its own, but it's looking to communicate with a wound that's compatible. Maybe your wound is the same type of wound, but it speaks a different dialect, right? Like Arabic and Hebrew. It's the same language, just different dialects. So it might be something lost in translation which serves as conflict, right? We don't really understand each other. The conflict is saying, but it's the same wound reflecting back to each other, and it's looking to be resolved. It's now out of the subconscious and into the ego. And once it's into the ego, you got to let the ego go in order to not fight and miss the point of its ascension to the ego. It ascended from the subconscious to the ego so it could be seen not by your partner, but by you. So you can take responsibility for it. You take responsibility in the same way you take responsibility for a child. You show it love and empathy, and because it's a part of you, and you go, oh, the way my mama raised me. What my mama didn't do. My father's absence. All this stuff wasn't there when I needed. Oh, that's okay. Y'all did your best. I love you. I forgive you. This is the letting go part. This is the healing part. But people think healing is not synonymous with getting. See, healing is a process. I don't want to put all that work in. I just want to get what I want. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking.
Both together with promises made that we never, yet feeling it now more than ever. I can't deny, but what kind of man would I be if I lived unfaithfully? And what kind of girl would you be?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. is endorsing Republican Bob Fioretti in the Cook County, Illinois state's attorney race.